the position has always been that these young people have got themselves into this position, not due to their fault or their own doing. And therefore, government has made a commitment to provide them with private work. And yes, these are those students that are eligible for the exam. By the way, this year we took a video, and we are now, I have been working with the Minister of Finance, talk to my body to make the payment. So this is not an extra cost. It is the cost that has already been allocated to the ministry. There's much more that I can say, but I hope that this gives an idea of the challenges that my ministry is facing and what I and my ministry are doing to address and resolve these challenges. Thank you for listening so patiently.
Honorable members, comments?
Mr. Speaker, honorable members. Listening to the Minister of Education, I see nothing new. I wish these were the excuses we brought forward when we had the meeting. The Deputy Speaker, Honorable Kathleen, and the Honorable Siafa in the office of the Deputy Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what the Minister has not done, he has not presented a critical analysis of when the portal was opened. When did the Minister and the Ministry act for...
Hold on, Mr. Minister, take notes, because you respond to all the issues.
When did the Ministry ask for schools to submit? And because the schools have to do two different verifications, first they have to send to the Ministry of Education for them to be verified through the Becker system, and later the Ministry had to send a list to WAEC, and it was upon the list submitted to WAEC that the schools are going to submit their candidates now. So if you look at the date the portal was opened, and the date the Ministry asked the schools to submit, and the date the Ministry finally submitted to WAEC, you understand the differences. But in our close-door interaction with the Minister, it told us clearly that indeed they were submitting the verification, the verified candidates to WAEC in this name, and WAEC put a stop to that they are not going to accept the result, the verified results and the verified candidates in this name. So they have to do everything together. It was that process that led to the delay and why many schools were omitted. And the Minister admitted to that in our meeting. And that was why we were left with no option but to go back to the WAEC International to seek their consent to reopen the portal, because in this situation that the Minister explained to us,
And these 10 MPs have been very much outstanding when it comes to attendance in the world of Parliament. Don't worry, you can find your place. You can also find your place.
Mr. Speaker, you make any statement based on your judgment today?
Today. Every day I'll read out the 10 MPs.
Mr. Speaker, the last 10 MPs.
Give it up.
The last 10 MPs.
With time, Parliament will set aside a particular package for attendance. Thank you very much, honorable members. Yes, proceed.
Ladies of paper. Honorable PC Harvey Sheku Terena TNF Mara, Chairman, Parliamentary Committee of Privileges and Ethics.
Proceed, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the Committee on Privileges and Ethics is one of the session and select committee charged with the responsibility to oversee and uphold the privileges, laws, and custom of the House, as well as the responsibility of members of Parliament and standard of parliamentary conduct as enshrined in section 93(1)(f), 93(6)(a), 97, 99 of the 1991 Constitution and Standing Order SO 7011. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, before I lay this report on the table of the House, kindly permit me to extend my thanks and appreciation to members of the Privileges and Ethics Committee and the staff who work tirelessly to make sure that this report is presented before this honorable House. I hope that the findings and recommendations contained in this report will be considered by this Assembly. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, with your leave, I beg to lay on the table of this honorable House the following paper. A report on the ruling of the retired Honorable Speaker of Parliament on Melvin Tijan Mansare, journalist, in brackets, interview statement at the 98.1 Radio Democracy on Wednesday, the 1st January 2025, which the House referred to as contempt of Parliament. But, Mr. Speaker, I'm one of the most regular I talk to this year.
Okay, don't worry, don't worry. Lay your paper first. So, Mr. Clark, take notes. Yes, I am expecting the Member of Parliament to move for the debate. Yes, Chief Whip. Give him the mobile mic.
Mr. Speaker, as member of that committee, I move that report be admitted.
Second that. So, Chief Whip, you will do the necessary so that the next adjourned date will debate this particular report and the recommendations adopted, against which date we invite the contempt law to be brought to the House of Parliament, that he stands at the back while we debate. Thank you very much. Proceed.
Right here in Texas.
Right.
Let's proceed.
Ministerial statement. B. Underlaying of papers. Honorable Dixon N. Rogers, Chairman, Parliamentary Committee on Transport and Aviation.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I stand before this noble House as chairman of the Parliamentary Committee on Transport and Aviation
to present the report on the parliamentary actions and progress status of the Banana Island port following the engagement with Gentle Group of Companies on the 10th of April 2025. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Member, this report outlines the initial steps taken by the Gentle Group towards realizing the strategic national infrastructure. Upon completion, the Banana Island port promises to significantly enhance economic activity, promote tourism, improve maritime administration, connectivity, and meaningfully contribute to job creation for our youth. The committee's meeting with the company was thorough and insightful, focusing on the stability of the project, risk that could impede the project implementation, environmental consideration, stakeholders consultations, and the current level of work completed where in the acknowledgement, contribution, progress in mobilization, and preliminary works. The report also highlights critical gap that must be addressed urgently, particularly regarding funding, concessions from the government, and the community engagement. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I therefore urge this House to consider the findings and recommendations of this report as we continue to exercise our oversight. Responsibility in ensuring transparency, accountability, and timely delivery of this national project. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, with your leave, I now lay a report on the table of this honorable House for the attention of this noble House.
Ministerial statement.
Hold on. Honorable members, moving forward, I want this House to be meeting. Don't just bring the report, relay the report, and that's the end. And we cannot just debate the report without any notice. So, Chairman, you want this report debated? It is for members to give notice. Who is your deputy?
Mr. Speaker, I agree with fully that this is want to assure you that
You are giving notice.
they need not give notice, but we are going to assure you that the business committee will take it this time.
No. If the business committee is meeting, there has to be notice in this way. Take your rules. Yes, you have to give notice. You just say you just need to debate. So therefore,
the business committee, whether or not notices are given, it's the business committee that will
okay, I require that notice be given.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Speaker, listening to the deputy speaker, deputy leader, I am confused. He's saying they select what comes to the well as a matter of report. It should be the intent. That's what you said. That the business committee will look at which report should be debated. It should not be so. It should not be selective. That's what you said. Oh no. I did not see that. I said we decide when this must come to the well. It is the decision of the business committee. We do the other paper. It is that why the leader of the opposition is also part of the other business committee.
Yes, we see.
Mr. Speaker, as a member of the business committee, I very well know that as of 25
for any report, agreement, or whatsoever to be related by this house cannot be ignored. Notices must be given.
Of course.
I don't
know.
For every document to be debated.
How can you debate the document?
In fact, it is the gateway for any debates. You need open doors.
Of course. You have to
if
give
the door is open, and then you enter, and then you do your work. So the open doors is essential to identify. You cannot.
I think it's properly done.
Yeah. Secondly, the role of the business committee is to decide when specific items come before the house. Not which one to come and which one not to come. Let's say, for instance, if you have 10 reports, it's the duty of the business committee to decide how many reports should come to the house at a particular sitting. We will say report 1, report 2 will come this time. Report 2, 3, report 4 will come the next sitting. That's the role of the business committee, not to decide which to come and which not to come at all. Thirdly, I'm suggesting that also as a member of Parliamentary Commission, this move you are about to take or you have given is excellent. So on that note, I'm suggesting that maybe in our next Parliamentary Commission meeting, we decide maybe on a monthly basis which particular sitting should be given to report only. That on this particular sitting, report of committees should be debated for that particular proceeding. That will enable us to cover all the reports. Rather than we mix it up, we can allocate specific sitting for committee reports only. On that very day, we can cover up to 3, 4 reports. And then we adopt. And having adopted those reports, the recommendations of those reports, by expunging some and accepting some, and the ones we accept, we adopt, those ones become law. And then we can have committee on compliance to make sure those resolutions are complied with by MDs.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The Speaker, thank you very much. Deputy was trying to bring me out that there are certain times members maybe are not equal to something. There's interest of people for the house. And solely, this committee, let us debate this report. That is one. I don't think there's anything different from that. But for parliamentary proceedings, listen carefully what I said. If the House did not pay attention to a particular report solely, the business committee, in the interest of the public and the House, can bring that report for a debate. That's why he was profiling. The one that is of procedure is 25C, SO 25C. SO 25C. Those who have the study orders in the when it matter like you have laid for the House for the document has been laid, what the chief has done, what honorable soldiers has done, you can now give notice of motion for a debate. That's what we are asking for. But what we cannot do with that deed of papers is for you not to put question to that paper deed. And that one is standing orders 18.9, standing order 18.9. So the speaker,
who is putting question?
No, if you put question, anybody is putting question to I'm not referring to directives of standing orders 18.9. Just saying you cannot put question. But what you said, that for proper procedure is to give notice of motion. But what my deputy said, if, for instance, if a report has not been given a motion, also the business committee interested in really serving the House, also bring that matter on the other people. But to be consultation on both sides of the eye, so that we can bring that item to the fore for it. I think the progressive parliament is not frowned of all these things that you have said. And I listened to you carefully when that report was made from the Paramount, giving acts that you are expecting somebody to put in motion so that we can. I think we're all on the same track.
Yes,
so let's proceed.
Certainly.
Yes.
All of what you leaders have said to be said at a family meeting. Not there.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
When you meet at your
No, but Mr. Speaker, to say
at the family level.
to say there are rules of procedure in the house. I have so much trust in my colleague on the other side, a very senior colleague, and most times listen to his advice carefully. Critical decision. I have tremendous respect for him. But by structures we have in the house, there are things that are done within the PC, Parliamentary Service Commission, and there are things that are done by every committee of this house. Let us allow the committees to do their work. When there is fall short somewhere, it is with you, Mr. Speaker, to take your necessary action with the leadership of the house. But for now, as he said, we shall discuss this one in the family meeting. But it's now on the floor of the house. While as I said it earlier, I think all of us are not on track. We're not out of track. We're just saying we should do things to make sure that the house is on track in serving the nation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, proceed, Clark.
Ministerial statement. First year Mr. Paragraph A and B of subsection 2 of section 107 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Act number 6 of 1991. The Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary School Education to explain the role of the ministry in addressing the challenges relating to the 2025 West African Senior School Certificate Examination. The Minister.
Honorable members, the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary School Education has been summoned to appear before this honorable house, make a statement, a prayer statement regarding the huge number of our children that have been left out of this year's examination. That's all the more reason why it's here. You could recall that matter was raised by Honorable KKK. That's all the more reason why we invited the minister to come here and explain to not only the members of parliament, but to the public. Because we deserve to know as the people's representatives, and of course the public too deserve to know the reason why this huge number of pupils have been left out of the exam this year. But Mr. Minister, before you proceed your statement, let me just inform you that we have a huge problem on our hands as a nation right now. We have this mpox raging through the population of Sierra Leone, and I want you to think about what to do related to our children in this school. It's also very important. We invite you someday to take the necessary steps. Make sure that our children in this school are safe. Because mpox, honorable members, is raging through the population. Cannot hide it anymore. It's raging through the population. The minister, the schools are grounds where our pupils gather every day, their numbers, sometimes in very small classrooms. So think about that, and maybe you can ramble along what the ministry is doing to make sure that we don't have a serious situation on our hands as a nation. But proceed, Mr. Minister, proceed with the last thing. We'll come to that.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for bringing us to speak. We are just discussing with every speaker and deputy that trigger our minds. And we are talking about after this to have happy work what we are asking you to do for us under the Public Health Mandate Act of Parliament. We are expecting an outbreak of secretary for the minister to give a regulation as soon as possible. The act, that is the only time you will have Mr. Minister to act. Because if you go beyond what he has said, giving him the powers of Parliament, a serious violation.
We are not giving him any powers.
No, it's the no, it's not him. I said when the regulations are out. I want you to be able to draw the attention of the Minister of Health to give the regulations now.
We need to invite him.
Yeah, but I don't want to fool you.
Yes.
He should give out a regulation in line with the imports. So I said in line with that, the Minister of Basic Education that has to do to our children. So it's an outbreak everywhere. So I just want you to give a reminder to the minister. But what you have said, I don't know. The minister is supposed to be here. Perhaps what you have done, maybe in the next sitting we'll try to have. Thank you. But I want to use this platform, sir, to say thank you very much. We are struggling in having how we get minister. But Mr. Speaker was very forceful for us to get a minister. But I said it was managed. And it's not any platform we have created to embarrass anyone, affecting all of us. So we are happy that we are able to come to consensus. And also want to say thanks to my colleagues on the other side. We brought the issue up, and we said yes. There is a provision under the provision of the business committee. We also have ministerial statement. So we are doing this perhaps subsidiary questions made for you, so that we can understand properly.
Yes.
And you say use the platform to educate the public about what has happened. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Yes.
My colleagues on the other side, I want to say thank you very much for being here.
Yes, the leader of the opposition.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'm in full support of what the leader of government businesses proposing. Because it cannot come a better time than now, at least before next sitting. My only concern, another ministerial statement is well in place. And it's a desire that we do it soonest. But it referred to public health emergency. As we speak now, there is nothing like public health emergency. There is no emergency. There is no proclamation to that effect. And even before it is done, we cannot be averse to any such proclamation. Basically, for the interest of our people. But by law, by procedure, there is none, as I speak. There is none. So for ministerial statements that doesn't need too much bureaucracy, I think we can do that quickly. So the minister through this house will inform the nation at large as to the import status in this country and some consider the measures that they have taken, of which they desire members to comply. That one can be done immediately. But we need no too much bureaucracy. But as it is now, there is no public health emergency.
You see, because we had the Ebola, we all agree with that. That's for the last time talking about combating synthetic drugs, which say we should stop about talking about this. So we say let us have an act like we have for the last time. That we don't need to come to parliament, we don't need to have public health. So we said you should have a regulation, you should give out a regulation under the public health that gives you the latitude to enforce certain laws. That if you are talking about schools, you should have a regulation guiding what should be done at the schools so that you cannot get enhanced the spread of the virus whatsoever. Under these provisions, we are avoiding certain misuse of powers given to certain sectors. So Parliament, on by own regulations and by Act of Parliament, we give it so that they can use it in line with what we have. So nobody has declared public health emergency. But I will make a reference to our public health emergency where necessary. You don't. There is no proclamation yet. But there's none now. But there's you don't even know to play public health emergency anymore. But there is a rule, please, when you are something I was paying attention. There is a law that's giving powers like you have for the last fever. It's there. So what's the question about? Mr. Speaker, let's proceed. What we're asking you to do is to remind the minister to quickly see how he can address by bringing regulations out. Thank you very much. So give effect to regulations. We are just asking you to do that for us.
Honorable leader and leader of government business and honorable leader of the opposition. I just introduced my subject and you are now debating it. You are now debating it. It's not even supposed to be a core subject. I just dug the attention of Mr. Minister. And you have taken the whole thing from my hands and debating it now. Anyway, we'll get to that. Thank you very much. Now, honorable members, this minister is here today, pursuant to Section 107 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone. Section 107, subsection 2, paragraph A and B. I'll read for your edification. Now, Section 107 reads, a minister, subsection. A minister may be summoned before Parliament or a committee thereof. A, to give an account of any matter falling within his portfolio. B, to explain any aspect of government policy. That's why he's here. That's all the more reason why this minister was summoned. And going forward, this house is going to be inviting ministers, different ministers, to explain different aspects of government policy to this house. You know, when I say things, sometimes when I say these things, some members think, oh, Mr. Speaker, I just want to invite people here, I want to invite this person here. These things are very important. Because even as we sit here, the public, some members are keen, members of the public are keen on knowing what we do here, or the steps we take in addressing public concerns. So that's why it's here. So, Mr. Minister, proceed.
Honorable Mr. Speaker, honorable members of Parliament. First of all, please permit me to respond to the big statement that you made around imports. Mr. Speaker, point of order. No worry. Mr. Speaker, we have got new member of Parliament. He's not supposed to be up here. I don't know who is here. Honorable Ibrahim Saba. We don't know who's honorable is here. Is this the former member of Parliament or current member of Parliament? Where is he?
Honorable Ibrahim Saba. Come on, remove it.
Or do they think it's easy to come to this house?
Oh, it disappeared. All right, let's proceed.
It's all right, Mr. Minister, proceed.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, let me just respond to the point made by the Speaker around imports. We are currently monitoring the situation, and I'll be delighted to come back to give this House an update on the Ministry's response to the surge in imports cases. I rise today to address a matter of grave concern, one that speaks to the heart of our commitment to educational accountability, quality assurance, and the rights of our pupils to fair and timely access to national examinations. The Speaker and honorable members,
The role of my ministry has been one of trying to address and resolve all challenges to the extent possible. I'm happy to report that in trying to address and resolve these challenges, I have involved honorable members of this House in the process. Permit me to explain these challenges and how we have tried to address and resolve them in some detail. Unlike the National Primary School Examination, NPSE, and the Basic Education Certificate Examination, BECET, which are both national exams, the papers for which are only taken by candidates from Sierra Leone, the West African Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination WAS is an international exam and is subject to the rules, regulations, and procedures agreed by all member countries, that is Nigeria, Ghana, Gambia, Liberia, and of course Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone has a great deal of flexibility in what it can do with regard to its national exams. For example, it can play around with the dates of submission of continuous assessment scores, something which is extremely difficult, if not impossible, in the case of WAS. Prior to 2024-2025 school year, schools have been submitting entries for WAS directly to WAEC without any checks by the ministry. Prior to the sitting of the May and June 2024 WAS, it was brought to the attention of my ministry that one, some schools appeared to be entering bogus candidates, and two, many schools had done their submissions very late and would not be able to do the batch registration before WAEC